that time again for Total Sport on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM, your daily sport tonic on radio. Time to take a look at all of the news going around in the scintillating and ever-buzzing world of sport. Total Sport is the comprehensive sport package, with proper analysis of events that happened over the weekend. Today we're talking about a lot, starting from the National Basketball Association, taking a look at games played this morning, and of course a game played last night. It was Philadelphia 76ers against Miami Heat, and right now that series is now 2-all leveled. Joel Embiid, the return has really sparked that team up. James Harden led the team with a team high 31 points in that particular victory over Miami Heat. Also, Dallas Mavericks pulled up a big win against Phoenix Suns, and it's also 2-all right now in that series. It is getting really interesting for the conference semi-finals. Dallas Mavericks against Phoenix 2-all, Philadelphia against Miami Heat 2-all. Maybe tonight when Memphis Grizzlies take on Golden State Warriors, it's going to be 2-all. Fingers crossed. Let's see how event unfold. We'll talk about that on the program this afternoon. We'll also take a look at stories in the world of tennis, and it's that man, the 19-year-old Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz, who made history for himself. We'll talk about this one. And from the world of Formula 1, it was a big one for Max Verstappen rather. He had a big win over the weekend in the Miami Grand Prix. Big one for Max Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc came second in that particular one. So we'll talk about this on the program, taking a look at the Nigeria Professional Football League games played yesterday in the NPFL. Shooting Stars of Ibadan enjoyed a big win against Niger Tornadoes at home, 1-0, and that means the last two games 4 points accumulated by Shooting Stars. Remember, they got a vital point away from home against Sunshine Stars. That tells you how important that particular victory is for Shooting Stars right now. The margin from 11th to relegation zone is now increasing, and that tells you Shooting Stars are looking like they won't be played in the NNL next season. That's our prayers. They will talk about that on the program. Flying Eagles also defeated the Black Stars of Ghana in their own game, the Wafu Zone B tournament. They won 2-0, an early goal, and 12 minutes from time they scored the second goal. That was how the game ended, 2-0 in favor of the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. We also take a look at European stories. Liverpool against Tottenham, 1-0 draw, and how Man City capitalized on that result by Liverpool by defeating, pummeling, and of course annihilating Newcastle 5-0 yesterday. Citizens want to get the Premier League after missing out on the Champions League. A lot to talk about on the program. Enough of these pre-match formalities. It's Total Sport on Ibr92.5 FM. This is the sport headquarters in Southwest Nigeria. I am Kenny Bamidele. Just to let you know that definitely the phone lines will be open at some point on the program. So in case you're just joining, you probably don't have the phone lines. I will read it out right now so you can put it down. The lines to call in are 0916-104-7698. 0916-104-7698. You can as well call 0811-052-6487. 0811-052-6487. You can also try this other line, 0902-280-9257. 0902-280-9257. Remember, this program is also live on Facebook. You want to see the faces of the guys in the live studios, go on to our Facebook handle at facebook.com/IBR925FM Ibadan. You can also follow us on Twitter at IBR925FM Ibadan. Same handle on Instagram. It's Total Sport on IBR92.5 FM. Let me introduce the guys I have with me here in the live studios. It's Toby Adewale making a big return this afternoon. Toby, how are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks. Good afternoon, Kenny, and good afternoon, sports fans, wherever you're listening to us. It's nice to be here to talk about sport. As you've already read it out, it's going to be a bumper package this afternoon from NBA to Formula 1, and the weekend was for the actions. Today is for the reaction, so let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. That's definitely coming from Toby. Right now, let's start from the National Basketball Association, taking a look at games played yesterday, and of course the other game played this morning. I want us to start with the game featuring the Philadelphia 76ers and Miami Heat. Toby, at first it was 2-0. The Heat were leading, and I was part of those who believed 2-0, 2-0 for the Heat. That means it's looking like it's done and dusted. They should be able to get at least next 3 or next 2 wins to wrap this up. But that wasn't the case. It was Philadelphia 76ers who had other ideas. And James Harden scored 31 points. Joel Embiid added 24 points and 11 rebounds as the Sixers beat the Heat 116 to 108. What do you think as to the result right now? Is gradually slipping off the hands of the Heat?
Well, it's a no-brainer. It just shows you and the influence Joel Embiid actually has in that team. While he was away from that that team, they struggled. And when he came back from that concussion scare that he had in the last game or the previous game before yesterday's game, just to show you that he was actually someone, and you saw that his influence actually propelled James Harden to actually give a stellar performance. And now they've already drawn the series. Now it's now 2-2, and let's see what will happen in the next game. In the next game that will actually happen. Remember what I told you on TV earlier, that we might actually have a 7-game thriller, and it's already gradually getting to that stage. So let's enjoy it as it comes.
Okay, now looking at before moving from that game quickly, of course I've got a friend. You always mention the fact that Heat will win the championship. Heat in 4, Heat in 5, all of that. But with Jimmy Butler dropping, over 40 points for them, and they still couldn't, get the win. Do you think the initiative is out of their hands right now? And right now, the Sixers have got momentum on their own side.
Yes.
What should the Heat do to bounce back to winning ways?
I think Jimmy Butler is just one player from that team. If he's raking in the points and he's not having the proper support from his other teammate, then this is a game of numbers. It is who that can actually rake in the most points at the end of the fourth quarter that will actually be confirmed winners or champions, depending on what stage of the game that they find themselves. And Jimmy Butler is doing his bit. You saw what actually happened. I'll still refer to the 76ers. While Embiid was away, James Harden could only try, but when Embiid actually came and actually joined with James Harden, you saw that they were actually able to get the result, and they were able to draw the series to 2-2 now. So if Butler can actually have proper support, why not?
Alright, so now let's take a look at the other game between the Dallas Mavericks and of course the Phoenix Suns. Luka Doncic has scored a 26-point performance, while Dallas take advantage of Paul's foul trouble to tie the series at 2-2 right now. Now, Luka Doncic has been that man. But interestingly, when Luka Doncic was out injured, it was that man, Jalen Brunson, that took up that role. In fact, it was dubbed the new Luka Doncic. I remember that vividly. Did you think Dallas Mavericks are stolen the initiative too from Phoenix Suns right now?
We really can't say. You know that when you are playing these conference games, especially in times like this, it is actually one slip up can actually make or mar the performance of a team.
Definitely.
One slip up. So it's all about building this consistency. And we look at Doncic. He himself is still eyeing that coveted MVP title at the end of the season. So if he can rake in these numbers, as I've said earlier, it's just a matter of raking in the numbers. And the MVP is more or less like an individual award. So if he can actually rake in the points per game, dependingly, then he can actually get it. But it now depends on what his team can actually support with. So
as much as you want to rely on Luka Doncic to give you those big figures, give you those big points, how about the teammates? How are they willing to support him? The supporting cast, how well are they doing? That's all we can take from the NBA this morning. Right now, let's move to the world of tennis and talk about this Spanish teenager, 19-year-old Spaniard, Carlos Alcaraz. He completed a magical week with a victory over defending champions Zverev in the Madrid Open final. 19-year-old who had beaten Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic in his previous two matches swept aside German second seed 6-3, 6-1. Now, what do you think of Alcaraz, 19-year-old, doing big things, throwing out Rafael Nadal, throwing out Novak Djokovic? Do you think this guy is the future?
I think he has completed that trifecta. Did it against Nadal, did it against Djokovic, and even I think world number one. So you see, he's 19 years. He actually has a lot of age. He has age on his side. He actually has the talent. He has influence actually backing him up. But he must actually build on this consistency. He will not be the first youngster to actually come in and blow us all the way within a championship.
Do you think
like
we're going to see similar things that happen in WTA, where you see youngsters coming up and couldn't even hold on to their lead on the top of the rankings?
With the likes of Nadal, with the likes of Djokovic, I think Djokovic is 35 or 36 if I'm not wrong. Nadal is in his late 30s. No, we are not even talking about Roger Federer right now at this point, because he's still trying to come back from injuries and the like. So with this has now actually left or opened up the pool for players like Alcaraz, and if he can take the initiative, he can actually take it slowly as it comes. Because one thing we must actually let these youngsters know is that right now the cameras are in front of them, the press will be backing him. There will be a lot of pressure on his young shoulders, but he must take it one game at a time, because if he lets the pressure get to him, it will actually bring him down.
Talking about one man who lost out, Zverev, he put the blame on that defeat on the scheduling. He wasn't happy with the scheduling, late night fixtures, and all, and how he had to finish the match against Tsitsipas late and prepare for the other one. But let's move away from that particular one and talk about this other tennis story. And this one has got to do with Stan Wawrinka. Three-time Grand Slam champion Stan Wawrinka put his injury troubles behind him to earn a first ATP Tour win in 15 months at the Italian Open. Wawrinka fought back from his set and a breakdown to beat America Aurelio Pelka 3-6, 7-5, 6-2 in Rome. It's good to see him back from injury. Alright, from the WTA, the Madrid Open, Tunisia's Amutajero recovered from a mid-match struggle at the Madrid Open to become the first African player to win a WTA 1000 event. Now, what do you think of Amutajero?
Good thing for Amutajero. She has been a player that has been following for quite a while, and I'm very happy she actually has a title to her name right now, because I think outside of Kevin Anderson of the ATP, I think this is the first African, the first Arab to actually do this for herself, and not just raking in the high rank points. She's in the top 10 of the WTA. She has a title to her name. Good thing for her. She should just build on this. The WTA is actually very volatile, whereby you see a lot of champions coming in and out, and I'm just happy for her. Let's see what she'll do. As you know, the clay court season is actually gradually here. They are preparing for the Roland Garros, so this will actually give her a lot of morale going into the French Open.
Alright, you're still listening to Total Sport on Ibr92.5 FM with Kenny Bamidili and of course Toby Adewale. Right now we're taking a look at some of the top stories we have in the world of sport. First, we're starting from other sport. We're talking about NBA, talked about tennis. Right now, let's talk about Formula 1, and it's the update right now because Red Bull's Max Verstappen survived a late race assault from title rival Charles Leclerc's Ferrari to end the inaugural Miami Grand Prix. Verstappen was cruising to an easy win after passing Leclerc early on, but a late safety car brought them together for a restart with 10 laps to go. Leclerc trained everything for 5 laps to get close enough to pass Verstappen, but Verstappen broke that challenge. Verstappen wins caught Leclerc's championship lead to 19 points. Big win for Max Verstappen, but still couldn't go on top of Charles Leclerc.
Yes, he couldn't go on top of Charles Leclerc because Charles Leclerc before this race has actually opened the 27 points lead, and he has been able to actually cut that down to 19. I saw it was a tough battle between Verstappen and Charles Leclerc on the corners, because as I said earlier on the sister program this morning, the Red Bull is actually fast on the street, but the Ferrari actually has a slight advantage going into the corners. And Leclerc thought he could actually beat Verstappen on the corners, but he was able. Max was able to actually beat or fend off that challenge, and he was able to get the checkered flag at the end of the day. And they have also been able to actually cut down the constructors leaders to just, I think, is it 5 or 6 points right now, because prior to yesterday's race, Ferrari, they were actually blowing away, and good thing for Max, good thing for Red Bull.
Yeah, good one for Max and of course Red Bull. But what is happening to Lewis Hamilton?
As I've said, Mercedes, they actually started like they didn't get their acts right from the preseason, even till the first few races of this season. Mercedes were struggling.
Now, George Russell had a not too bad practice session. What happened in the main race?
Well, he slipped up. And we must also cut this driver some slack.
Yeah.
This is actually a new track.
All right.
The Miami track was actually the first time Formula 1 will actually be racing there. So most of these drivers were not familiar. So it was like they were actually learning. They were learning the tracks. They were learning on, even in the practice session also. I don't know, just to bring your remembrance to it, Verstappen almost crashed into the walls. There were also drivers actually had issues with starting, and even while they were practicing. So Mercedes, I will cut them some slack. They were the first constructors to actually have an upgrade on their car going into the Miami Grand Prix. They had an improved performance compared to the previous races in this season. So going into the next race, let us see if they can actually build on the momentum that they have.
Okay, let's see if they can build on the momentum they've got right now. But is there any space, any place, or any chance for a comeback for Mercedes?
I think that would be far-fetched, because they've actually blown it. They can they've blown it. But I'm sure a top five place, maybe in the drivers or in the constructors championship, will be a good season for them.
Okay, let's see how that one goes. That's all we can take from other sport this morning. Right now, let's head straight home and talk about stories from the Nigeria Professional Football League, taking a look at games played yesterday and of course games played on Saturday. Okay, let's start with the game between Rivers United and MFM. 5-0. That's the highest scoreline recorded over the weekend. Right now, Rivers United have taken a 7-point lead on top of the log. Now for Plateau United, sadly for them, they lost to Nasarawa United 2-1, which means the 4-point gap is now 7. And like play, Rivers already are taking charge.
Yeah, advantage Rivers United. They did what they had to do. This is the business end of the season, whereby every point won or lost can actually be crucial, and they took the initiative. They were able to actually grind out that result. Should I even say they ground out that result, or actually won comprehensively? Good thing for them, but it is actually Plateau United. Even if they do not actually win the MPFL this season, I think they've actually had a very stellar performance so far, because the MPFL is really one difficult league to play in. So if they actually just getting the continental slot is a good season for them.
All right, that's a good season, just getting a continental slot. All right, for Shooting Stars of Ibadan, that's a big win for them. They were defeated Niger Tornadoes.
Big win for them. Good momentum, at least for the past three games they've been unbeaten.
That's 7 points from a possible 9.
Yes, and as you have said, or as I have said earlier in previous editions of this program, though they're 11th, but that momentum that they're building so far will actually help in cementing their MPFL status, because if you are dropping points at home, then you have no business playing.
Shooting Stars right now are 11th on the log with 37 points.
Yes.
Now, what do you think of right now? 7 points above relegation zone, which means it's not Uru yet.
Yes.
They've got a lot of work to do to keep this momentum.
Yes.
Now, with that point gotten against Sunshine Stars away from home, the draw they got away from home, don't you think they should try to transfer that into subsequent away games and see how they can get at least a point?
Yes, they can. It's something that is actually very doable. But you must also consider the peculiarities of the Nigerian league.
Yeah, true.
Whereby teams will travel long distances before they can actually honor match days. You know that Akure is less than a few hours away from Ibadan here, so they were able to actually not play with so much fatigue. But if you are going to distances, like if you are going to Nasarawa or you are going to Kano, and you have to travel like a day or 2 days on the road before you can actually honor games, then it will actually have an influence on the result that will be on the field of play. So it is something that they can do, but I think if they can just get their home wins and get a couple of away points,
all right,
they are home and dry.
All right, taking a look at other results of games played in the APFL. Aqua United had a Nest of Champions play a 1-0 against Eyimba. Gombe United defeated Sunshine Stars at home 1-0, and that's not too good for Sunshine Stars. All right, Kano Pillars came from a goal down to defeat Kwara United 2-1. Lobby Stars of Makurdi topped Katsina 2-1, and that's the game we talked about earlier. Nasarawa United defeating Plateau United 2-1, and also Rivers United got the better of MFM 5-0. Shooting Stars, like I said, now at home defeated Niger Tornadoes by 1-0, and of course Dakada FC traveled to face Wiki Tourists, and it ended in defeat for Dakada as they lost 2-0. For the game played on Saturday, Abia Warriors got the better of Remo Stars by 2-0, while Enugu Rangers enjoyed a big win against Heartland at 3-1. Right now, Enugu Rangers third on the log, and that is the last spot for the continent. Remo Stars fourth on the log. Now, with the win for Enugu Rangers, they are 2 points ahead of Remo Stars right now. How long can Enugu Rangers hold on to this, third place? Because it means they will be in the continent if they are able to seal that third place.
Yes, and they are seasoned campaigners in the Nigerian league. They've got experience compared to Remo Stars, and if I'm sure the biggest losers will be Remo Stars if they eventually end up missing on the continental spots, because they actually started like a house on fire, where they were getting decent away victories. They were blistering at home, but if they eventually end up losing, because right now they've actually been slipping up in the last couple of games. I mean Remo Stars, and if they end up losing this continental spot, I'm sure it will be so painful for them.
All right now the phone lines officially open. Let's talk about the MPFL and take a look at what happened yesterday and of course on Saturday for Shooting Stars. They won 1-0 against Niger Tornadoes. You can call in right now 0916-104-7698, 0916-104-7698 or 0811-052-6487, 0811-052-6487. You can as well call 0902-280-9257, 0902-280-9257. This program is also live on Facebook. Go on to our Facebook handle, facebook.com/IBR925FM Ibadan, facebook.com/IBR925FM Ibadan. Let's talk about some of these games played yesterday in the MPFL. What do you think of the title race? Is it over? Rivers United 7-point clear of second place, Plateau United, while Shooting Stars 7-point clear of the relegation zone. Looking cool for Shooting Stars, also looking cool for Rivers United. Let's talk on the program this afternoon. Total Sport on IBR 92.5 FM. Taking a look at the standings right now in the MPFL, Rivers United on top with 58 points. Second is Plateau United with 51 points. That's 7 points separating the first and the second. Third is Enugu Rangers with 45 points. And of course for Remo Stars, they are fourth with 43 points. Aqua United, who played at a 1-0 draw at home against Aimba, 40 points. Fifth, Kwara United also level on points with Aqua United 40 points. For the other team, Aimba at 39 points. Seventh, 8th place Gombe United currently have 38 points. Wiki Tourist 9th with 38 points. Sunshine Stars 10th with 37 points. Shooting Stars of Ibadan, they are currently 11th with 37 points. And Nasarawa United, they are 12th with 35 points. Abia Warriors 13th with 33 points. Same point with 14th place Niger Tornadoes 33 points. Lobby Stars 15th with 32 points. Katsina United at 16th with 30 points. 17th place Dakada also have 30 points in that one. 18th place Kano Players have got 29 points. Heartland 28 points. And MFM FC 24 points. Relegation for MFM. Imagine seeing MFM in the NNL next, and that's the wilderness. Do you think they still have what it takes to escape relegation right now?
I really don't think so. I think their fate has been sealed already. It's just been waiting for us to confirm that. Even while we're even looking at MFM, I'm even looking at Kano Pillars. You know, they were once champions of the league a few years ago, and they are actually languishing in 18th position. No thanks to the points deduction that was given to them when their fans actually ran riot against the opposing team, and you see them 18th on the log. Atland also, MFM also. So it's going to be a dogfight till the end of the season. I just pray everything will be done openly, because you know that with the incidents of the Nigerian league, you know that when we are at this stage of the league, you start seeing some funny decisions. You'll be hearing of boardroom points. You'll be hearing of questionable refereeing decisions on the game. So it's so sad that MFM has to actually find themselves in this.
Very sad.
But we just have to move on. That's football.
We move. That's football. Remember, you can still call in 0916-104-7698 or 0811-052-6487, 0902-280-9257. Right now, we've got some bills to play. To the sport return shortly.
Look, there's no easier way to say this. Slow internet is bad for business. So, if you want what's best, get the Airtel Smartbox Outdoor Unit for SMEs.
Indeed, do business at internet speed of up to 200 megabytes per second with the Airtel Smartbox Outdoor Unit for SME and enjoy instant access to other amazing offers. Dial 1010 toll free or send an email to airtelbusiness@ng.airtel.com to get started.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break right now. Let's talk about this one before we talk about the Wafu Zombie Championship, where the Flying Eagles of Nigeria defeated the Black Stars of Ghana. Okay, let me ask you this question. What do you think of this season, the NPFL? Do you think we have seen an improvement from the previous seasons in terms of officiating, in terms of teams' performance, in terms of away result and all of that? What do you think of the season? Are we better than last season or the previous season?
I really cannot say
Okay, sorry, we have a call. Let's take this call first. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Justin. I'm calling from Oluye.
All right, you are welcome to Total Sport this afternoon.
Thank you. I'm a sad man because my team has lost momentum. Plateau United, I thought we were going to give these guys a run.
They lost yesterday to Nassau United.
Honestly, I'm feeling very sad. When I thought that we were going to push them and we'll overtake them.
Oh, it's hard right now. Do you think they can still do that right now?
Yeah, but I don't see Rivers United losing 2 games at a go.
Okay.
They're a good side. One of the first things is we can't see this games on TV. What is the problem with it?
No, you can actually see it on NPFL TV.
Okay.
But recently, I don't think that has been active. Recently, it hasn't been active. So, that's the issue with the NPFL.
Wow. But honestly, Nigerian football is good. Good football isn't played out there. We're supposed to be seeing that rather than watching European football or American football or whatever.
Okay.
We really need to do something about our own because good football is going out there.
That's what we want. That's what we have been clamoring for some time now.
Honestly. Anyway.
All right. Thank you.
I just want to express my sadness for my team.
Don't worry. Anything can still happen. They can still turn things around.
Yeah, I pray so.
All right. Thank you very much for that one. That's a staunch Plateau United fan saying. It's sad right now because his team lost to Nassau United 2-1 yesterday. Don't worry, anything can still happen. Imagine Rivers United losing 3 games in a row. That's hard though, but anything can happen. So, you can go on, Toby.
Yes, what I wanted to actually talk about was what our last caller actually mentioned. Ava was asking if the games were on TV. I would have said if with the quality of games and results that we've been seeing, if we were seeing them or watching it on our TV sets, I would have called that an improvement. But just last season, we could stream, we could watch on TV. In fact, people were even told to even subscribe. But right now, the NPFL TV app or the NPFL TV is not even active, and we cannot say that is an improvement compared to what we saw last season. But if you're talking about the quality of play, the quality of games, there has been an improvement. Fans have been trooping out to actually watch these teams live in the stands, and from the pictures that we have been seeing from different stadia across the country, fans are actually beginning to actually embrace the Nigerian football league.
Some fans are taking violence.
Well, there's always going to be those bad eggs that will actually want to actually spoil or ruin the reputation of the league. But this is actually where proper administration will come into play, whereby we would actually sanction clubs or even sanction fans, because in countries outside of Nigeria or even outside of Africa, we will see of federations or even teams sanctioning fans aside from even clubs or airing club sides. So I think we still have a long way to go.
I've got a long way to go for the NPFL. Rather sad. If you're able to watch this match on TV, this match is, that's increasing marketability of the league. But right now, nothing of sort. The NPFL TV that, most of our local football lovers, have been glued to is not even working. So, I mean, that's not too cool. We are not consistent when it comes to some of these decisions, and it's not even good for the progress of football in the country. All right, let's move away from the NPFL right now, but we're still sticking to football here in the continent of Africa, and it's the Flying Eagles of Nigeria who got their Wafu Zombie qualifying tournament off to a perfect start after defeating defending champions, the Black Satellite of Ghana 2-0 in Niamey, Niger Republic yesterday. The Group B game, which was played inside the General Shenu Country Stadium, saw the Eagles score in each half through Aminu Mohamed and Ahmed Abdullahi. In the game, Mohamed gave Flying Eagles the lead just 5 minutes into the game before Abdullahi doubled the lead with 12 minutes left. So that's a good one for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, because it is a case of revenge for Flying Eagles, who lost 1-0 to Ghana in the group stage of the Wafu Zombie qualifiers in Benin Republic. That was in 2020, which was the race for the 2021 Under-20 AFCON. Now, good, great start for the Flying Eagles.
Great start for them, playing against your staunch rivals. It's like a West African derby. Even though this is a waffle tournament, good thing they were actually able to win 2-0. Moving on, I just hope we'll be able to build on this momentum because the under 20 Flying Eagles, they've been underwhelming in their previous tournaments, in previous qualifiers. So if we can make it out of this group, because this is still like a group of death. I don't understand the rationale in placing Nigeria and Ghana with the same group, because it means that one of these teams would not make it to the major tournament itself. So if Nigeria makes it, good thing for us.
Alright, good thing for us that Botswana and his team will now take on Burkina Faso in their second Group B game on Wednesday. Meanwhile, hosts Niger Republic, Benin Republic, Togo and Cote d'Ivoire are in Group A. Two teams, in case you're asking how is the qualification going to be like, two teams will advance into the semi-finals from each group, but two finalists qualifying to represent the Wafu Zone B at the 2023 Under-20 AFCON in Egypt. The AFCON is the qualifiers for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup to be hosted in Indonesia also in 2023. All four semi-finalists from the tournament in Egypt will qualify to represent Africa in Indonesia. So now it's a lot of qualifying for them because this is just the first one from the Wafu Zone B to the AFCON Under-20 Championship, then qualification for the World Cup. It's still a long journey for them.
It's a long journey for them. I really don't understand why. Maybe maybe what CAF actually has in mind is to bring in a lot of countries to actually have a feel of these qualifiers and maybe one or two underdogs making it to the big stage, because at the end of the day, is this underdog story that actually makes football very interesting. Because as I've said, Nigeria, Ghana in a group, then one of Nigeria or Ghana would not make it to the African tournament, not to even talk of the World Youth Championship. So we just have to make do what we have now. Maybe subsequent tournaments or competitions, it will be reviewed.
All right, away from that right now, and we are jetting off straight to England, talking about games played over the weekend in the English Premier League. Yesterday, City defeated Newcastle 5-0. On Saturday, Liverpool and Tottenham played out a 1-0 draw. So right now, City are in the driver's seat for the Premier League title race. They are looking to win it for the second time consecutively. Right now, looking so easy for Man City after that 1-0 draw for Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspur. Let's talk about the EPL right now. It's Total Sport on Ibr92.5 FM. Alright, welcome back. Right now, let's talk about the EPL, but we've got a call here. Let's see who's on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mayana from Ghana.
Hey, Mayana, it's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I hope you are happy now. You don't have the mouth to you have to get between that.
It's not over. It's not over, Mayana.
Well, I think they are happy for Man City this weekend, and I want them to. I think that's what I've tried. I don't want them to do because of you. And I'm still in touch of
All right. Thank you very much, Mayana, for that one. Okay, talking about Liverpool, trying to throw some jibes and banters, but it's all good. That's football lovers for you. Let's talk about the EPL right now. Okay, starting from the game played yesterday, City played like never. I think that wasn't the kind of performance we saw against Real Madrid during the course of last week. We saw a better, a stronger, and of course a team with precision. That was what we saw yesterday against Newcastle. They won 5-0. Is the title race done and dusted for Liverpool?
I can't say the title race is done and dusted, but it is advantage Manchester City now. I expected that spirited performance from the citizens yesterday, and they didn't disappoint. They played like wounded lions, and Manchester City showed the stuff of champions, as they should, because after the disappointment of Real Madrid, Newcastle just had to be put to the sword, and that they did yesterday.
Now, looking at Liverpool and the quadruple this, quadruple that, the fans have been shouting for some time now. And now, should they forget about the quadruple and chase the treble?
I've actually maintained that the quadruple wasn't feasible. One had to be realistic in with one's decisions, and if Liverpool, they are so hell-bent, or they are so bent in getting the quadruple, they might just end up winning just a trophy, because you really cannot chase two rabbits at the same time. You just have to take it one game at a time. And if they still have the finals of the Champions League ahead of them, Real Madrid would also want to actually win the double, having the league and the Champions League.
So everybody's chasing something.
Exactly. So Liverpool really cannot just have it just like bread and butter with little or no challenge in front of them. So they just have to take it and manage their expectations. Right now, I feel it is City's league, Premier League to lose. Liverpool, they have the League Cup. So they just really have to just take it easy, so that they will end up not losing everything.
Liverpool have to take it easy, so they won't end up losing anything. Let's talk about the English Premier League title race. Is it over right now for Liverpool, or you still think Liverpool have what it takes to turn things around? Right now, Man City, remember, they're on top with 3 points, and with 5 goals scored, they've got +4 ahead of Liverpool. 0916-104-7698, 0916-104-7698, or 0811-052-6487, 0811-052-6487. You can as well call 0902-280-9257, 0902-280-9257. We've got a call here. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Anyway, Justin Odishayi once again.
All right, you have 30 seconds.
As a matter of fact, the league is over for Liverpool. They should just forget it.
We still have 3 games to go, remember.
It doesn't matter. Man City at this point, I doubt if they are going to give up 1 game. They are going to be playing like they are crazy already. So
remember, they still have to play Wolves and West Ham.
those are teams that they push around easily.
All right.
So,
thank you very much.
And then my beautiful Arsenal. I remember you guys said we're not going to get this far, but I am sure by Saturday or 2 games to go, we'll be ahead of Chelsea.
Oh.
So you guys can also start crying right now.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a trophy for Arsenal, top 4.
No, not a trophy, but
no, it means a lot to Arsenal fans.
We are a team that is rising, and this is good for us.
Nice one. Keep rising.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that one. Rising Stars United, that's Arsenal Football Club. All right. So, still talking about the title race, for Liverpool, don't you think, they've been in the Champions League final, that's done. FA Cup final, that's done. They want to focus in the league for at least for now, maybe the next game or the next 2 games. Now, somehow, if City drop points against West Ham and drop points against Wolves, then it's a wrap.
It's very unlikely City dropping consecutive points against West Ham and Wolves.
How do you say it's unlikely?
It's very unlikely. Why I say so is they will really want to compensate their fans, because I'm sure a lot of City fans, no matter how little they are, were still very disappointed with what Pep's team did at the Santiago Bernabeu.
So they want to make the fans happy.
Exactly, because right now that is the only thing they can. That's the only fighting trophy that they can actually go in for. So it's very unlikely. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very unlikely dropping points at Wolves and at West Ham.
Right, it's very unlikely for City to drop points. That's Toby sounding too confident in Pep Guardiola's men. And Pep said something that Liverpool seems to be getting the support from media, from journalists, everybody in the country. Is that true?
Well, I really do not know. As a coach, you always want to say something to unsettle your opponent. He might just be throwing his own jibes. He might want to unsettle the camp of the enemy, if I can use that word. But it's clear, it's crystal Though we can see that there have been some questionable decisions that has actually gone in favor of Liverpool. Like I can cite the example of Liverpool, the Merseyside derby, where I think was it Joe Matip that should have gotten a red card or a penalty decision that should have gone in
from Gordon.
Yes. So you might really say Liverpool are benefiting, but City too, they've also had their own share of this of refereeing decisions or so-called benefits from the fans or the press. So it's really not one-sided. If it favors you today, you accept it. If you are the wrong end of the stick, you live with it.
All right. So let's look at the top 4 race. Arsenal Football Club won against Leeds United 2-1, and just like our last caller said, a victory for them against Tottenham would mean they will qualify for the Champions League. Arsenal back in the Champions League. That's some good news for the club. As an Arsenal fan, what do you think?
Well, I think it's nice that after these long years of playing outside of the Champions League, it's going to be a good thing for them. But it's not Uhuru yet. They're still going to play against Tottenham. They're one of their fiercest rivals, their fiercest rivals in the city of North London. And Tottenham also, they're also eyeing, they're also gunning for the Champions League also.
Sorry, we have the call here.
Hello. Yeah, Joseph from World.
You're welcome to the program.
On title race, I think the moment Liverpool failed to beat City at Emirates, that was they lost the league. That we've got they tried to, but they are playing a crack team like them too. So both of them share spoils this season. So that defines the season for them. But they should be very careful their next match against Southampton.
Okay.
Because if they sleep again, maybe by weekend it will occupy of the league.
Okay.
So it's on the and they won't be playing. Liverpool won't be playing that weekend.
Yeah.
So they should be very careful against Southampton. If they sleep up, make it draw like this, it will just snap it, or maybe by weekend, not because now the Premier League again.
All right. Thank you very much. So Liverpool have to be careful. They don't slip off, and also Man City also have to be careful. Okay, let's look at the top 4 race that we were talking about right now. Chelsea third, 67 points. Arsenal fourth, 66 points. Tottenham fifth, 62 points. United, no hopes for the top 4 right now, because Arsenal and Tottenham have got 3 games left. United have just 1 game left for this season. It's so funny. United still right now. They lost 4-0 to Brighton. I'm actually coming to that. But let's look at Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. 2 of these 4 teams will be in the Champions League. Who do you see dropping, and which of the 2 teams will qualify for the Champions League?
I still see Arsenal and Chelsea. They still have very strong advantage of playing in the Champions League. Chelsea, their third position is really shaky right now, because it's just 1 point separating third place Chelsea and fourth place Arsenal. There's still a 4-point gap ahead that Arsenal has over Tottenham, and that's the reason why I said it's going to be a dogfight. The North London derby of Thursday this week is going to be very feisty, because the victory or whoever that gets the victory on that day will determine who will make it to the Champions League from next season. So I'm still tipping Chelsea and Arsenal making it to the final spot.
Chelsea and Arsenal. So Tottenham, after all those initial grab, playing forcing Liverpool to 1-0 draw, and Man City, defeating Man City, all will count for nothing. All right, let's look at the relegation battle. Big win for Everton Football Club against Leicester City. Now, they considered the first goal. Immediately, Richarlison scored the equalizer, and they got the second goal. They are 16th right now with 35 points. Burnley are 17th with 34 points. Burnley have got a game more than Everton. Now, looking at Leeds, 18th with 34 points. Let's say, Watford and Norwich are relegated already. So, now looking at, these teams, Leeds, Burnley and Everton, at least one of them will be relegated, will join Watford and Norwich City. Which one do you see? Do you think Everton can still get relegated?
I doubt it. They have the momentum on their side. They've been grinding out results. When they first got that result against Chelsea, really actually gave them a lot of hope. and they dared to dream, and they are dreaming to believe that they will actually play in the next season of the Premier League, and they've been getting that victory. A good victory away at Leicester, the King Power Stadium, was also very important for them. Richarlison has actually been coming and getting in the vital goals for Everton, and he did that again against Leicester. So it's a good thing for them. They still have a game in hand, and if they can actually get that victory, I'm sure they are home and dry. But what they should actually have in mind right now is that they must not actually play this sort of football or this style of football from next season, because I would say they should count themselves very lucky this season.
They should ask Sunderland.
Exactly, they should ask
Sunderland that kept fighting every season, but just that season they got relegated.
Exactly.
So okay, let's move away from that one right now and take a look at the the Italian Serie A first, because it's also hotting up there. Inter won 4-2. But bro, they came from 2 goals down and won that game 4-2. It tells you their intention. Now, AC Milan also defeated Verona 3-1. Big up to Tonali, who had a very good game there. Now, one of these teams will lose out in at the Scudetto. Which one would it be, and who's going to win it?
I'm still, as I've said earlier, in everywhere I get to talk about the Serie A, AC Milan should actually win this, because this is the only chance certain players in that team who can actually win that league. When you're talking about the like of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Olivier Giroud, these are aging players, and they might not really have the strength, or they might not even have contracts from next season to actually prosecute a very tedious, bone-cracking league like this Italian Serie A. So they just have to take it all in, give their alls, and actually leave the Scudetto this season. Okay,
the table right now, AC Milan on top with 80 points. They have 2 games left. Wow. Just, set to make history for themselves. It's been a while. You see AC Milan lifting the title. Inter second with 78 points. Now, Napoli are third with 73 points, while Juventus are fourth with 69 points. Right now, for AC Milan, they've got to be careful this time. I want to check their next game, and let's see how it's actually going to unfold for them. Even looking at AC Milan and of course Inter Milan, City are rivals. For AC Milan, they'll be up against Atalanta. This is another tough game for them.
This is another.
Inter will be up against Cagliari. Another tough one. Cagliari fighting for their life in the relegation zone. So both teams have got tricky ties.
Yes, the fixtures are coming in thick and fast for them. But I will still say AC Milan should still actually find a way of navigating this course of games. They have the relatively, I will use that word very strongly, they have a relatively easier tie compared to Inter Milan.
But, truly, that's the truth, because Cagliari played at 1-0 against Salernitana, and they want to get that win. They want to escape relegation.
Definitely.
They have to get that win. So Inter Milan against Cagliari seems tougher than AC Milan against Atalanta.
Definitely. And Atalanta of this season is not the Atalanta of 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago, whereby they were actually banging in goals.
7-0, 6-1.
Exactly. So I'm still sticking to my guns. AC Milan should actually lift the Scudetto by the end of this season.
Alright, AC Milan should actually leave the Scudetto at the end of the season. Alright, for the last game, it's going to be AC Milan against Sassuolo and Inter against Sampdoria. Let's see how event unfolds there. Alright, in Spain, Madrid defeated by Atletico Madrid. The Madrid derby, it was Atletico who topped that one. From the spot, Yannick Carrasco with the goal.
Yes, from the spot, they have little or nothing to play for in the league. Real Madrid, they are confirmed champions of the Spanish La Liga. They can afford to actually take their foot off the gas, and right now what Madrid actually has ahead of them, they are just thinking of the Champions League final. So at some point they actually rested a lot of their first team players just to actually give chance to the fringe players, and also allow the big boys, let me use that word,
Who are the big boys?
Yeah, of course, when you're talking about the likes of Karim Benzema and the likes,
they had 7 changes.
Yes, so he has to be wrapped in cotton wool right now ahead of the Champions League final.
Alright, thank you very much for coming to me.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's a wrap on the Monday edition of Total Sport on Ibr92.5FM. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. Sport Premiership comes up tomorrow, the first 30 minutes. Then the remaining 30 minutes we'll talk about all of the sporting stories we have for you. Yeah, sport comes up tomorrow too. You don't want to miss it. Big ups to my studio manager Bukola Lawal for doing a fantastic job this afternoon, and also our bro Jola Jawo, who is there at us live on Facebook, and everyone who have supported here in the live studio. I am Kenny Lamidele signing out.